in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Welcome to the gayest podcast ever.
Hello and welcome to the gayest podcast ever. I'm Josh and I'm here with
Eric
and CJ.
Hello, boys. How are you doing today?
Boys.
I'm tired today. Whew.
Tired?
I don't know why. I'm a little hungover.
You're back to work, girl. It's a busy season.
Oh, I hate it. Today was day number 3 back to work. We officially open tomorrow.
Gretchen's fetch on Wednesdays. We wear pink. Okay.
No, we wear rainbows because it's Pride Month.
We all got our pride on. Okay.
Yeah, so it's June. We've made it to the 6th level of Jumanji or whatever the heck they're calling us.
No. District 5 was released from quarantine.
Right.
Where's PETA?
We didn't have to storm the Capitol or anything. It's just we were released.
Well, some people
didn't.
Yeah,
we didn't.
We did not. No, but yeah, it's Pride Month. It's June. It's definitely a different type of Pride Month that we're used to experiencing because I think most of the LGBTQ centers and everyone that like plans all the Pride parades and events and this and that have canceled them all. Correct? Or I shouldn't say canceled. Postponed? Moved?
Yeah, I think ours is in September now. At least one of ours.
Yeah. Ferndale Pride got moved from May 30th to September 26th. I believe Motor City Pride is just canceled because it's supposed to be this Saturday.
Gotcha.
And I would assume by the way that we're progressing now with things opening up that we should be at a point where we can have large groups of people. Otherwise, I guess it would get canceled. But fingers crossed.
Oh no, they have canceled all of my concerts for the summer. All of them.
Mine too.
We read something where people were doing almost like a drive-in type concert where you just stay in your car and like they just perform and you can watch them from your car.
I would love that.
They call that the nosebleed section up at Ford Field or Little Caesars Arena where you're going to get vertigo. Strange center. But yeah, so it's Pride Month and, more important than, getting together to, drink and listen to music and celebrate each other's gayness. Pride is just about being thankful for our, brothers and sisters that have gone before us and have, put in the fight and the time that we are able to, marry the ones that we love and hold hands and yeah.
Here's
both you boys someone put a ring on it.
Wedding photo.
But it's hilarious because me and CJ have the same wedding rings.
Yeah.
She
copied me. I've been married longer.
But yeah, I think we should raise our glasses to, those of our family members that have gone before us and say thank you and we appreciate you and everything you did and cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, Queen, cheers.
Woo woo. Yes, Queens.
There's no place like homo.
So I do love that on my Facebook though, on like my memories, just seeing all the past prides that have happened. And they're so fun. Like I saw a bunch today that you had posted last year. And I was just like, there were people that I actually know this year that I didn't know then. And so now I'm seeing them in your posts. I'm like, oh, hey, I know that person now. We're actually friends.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was like, oh, last year, because producer Chad usually gets us in that little room and we got all the drinks. And I remember all the pictures beforehand and the cocktails and the Uber rides. It was such a fun day of Pride last year.
Yeah, we had a good time. I think I was really good. I made it all day. Sometimes that sun and that fun gets me, but I'm usually very good at Pride. Eating's not cheating, as I've learned.
No.
Yes, carbs.
I want to give a special shout out to my friend Courtney, who made me this awesome Pride mask.
Why do you have a jockstrap on your face?
So I'm gonna wear my little Pride mask whenever I'm, running out to get my White Claws or whatnot.
What's Josh just recently discovered that they charge more for White Claws at convenience stores than they do at grocery stores. He was outraged at the prices. Outraged.
I said for convenience, and there's a convenience fee. Let me tell you, that little 6-pack of, White Claws was like $11. And I was like, girl, I get a whole 12-pack for $13 at the Kroger. Like,
no, that's because every time like Bruton will stop and pick me some up in our little convenience store, he's like, I'll ask for like 2 6-packs. He's like $25, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. I think I got 2 6-packs, and it was like 24 something, and I was like, this is insane. Like, what the hell? And I'm not taking the bottles back. I'm not doing that deposit right now. I mean, I can't pay. I mean, when it does reopen, you won't find me anywhere near that can line.
I'm so used to now paying more, like a little upcharge, because I've had so much alcohol delivered through a delivery service, and they do upcharge you like more than what I think I'm paying $3 more per box of wine than what you would buy it in the store, and I'm fine with it. I'm like, at least I can get alcohol and drink, so I'm good.
I mean, that's true.
I was just really, really good at stocking up. Like, quarantine taught me, like, oh, Josh, you need 2 cases. Like, because I didn't want to pay that other price. And it was also like, when we were like really like things were really bad, and like I only wanted to go out like once, a week or once every 10 days. Like, I was like, get that shit together.
Yeah, it's nice. So here in Michigan, so now our restrictions are starting to be loosened for all of our friends that are listening outside of Michigan. We're finally allowed to gather in groups of 100 or less if it's outside while maintaining social distancing. So that's been exciting. We actually hung out and we're in the pool together yesterday for a little bit.
Yes, that's why I got a nice little summer glow on my cheeks.
No, I got my freckles are starting to come out. I'm like, hello, sunshine.
And I was pretending that Tuesday was a Friday. I was living my best life.
Same. I got up this morning at 6:30 and I'm like, what have I done? Yeah. I'm back at work. I can't keep doing this.
And I was good. I had to drive. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it's just like, okay, like, and even if, and now bars and restaurants are starting to reopen on next week. And I don't know if I'll be rushing out there right away. I'm just going to kind of let things hang out there. But I'm super excited that I'm able to go on to a friend's patio and have friends and drink together in in a climate that I'm comfortable with and that, I trust the people and, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to our first Sunday fun day when we're allowed to go to brunch.
Yeah.
Someone should record that.
Oh my gosh. Give me a tower of mimosa. Give me one just for me, and then you all can share one yourselves. I'm ready.
I don't know if I want to record that, because we all saw the first time I got back together with friends after being gone for so long. I felt a little too hard. And
yeah.
Regret
Girl took her training wheels off and went right down the hill. She was gonna pace it.
I roséed all day in 3 hours, and it was not pretty. So
3 bottles.
I videotaped, but I was super excited to see my friends again. Yeah. We did really, really good. We went so long, and we were, because we're all smart individuals, and we all wanted to, take the proper precautions and everything. So it was like a little reward.
It was nice. I enjoyed it. It was like, even before we knew that restaurants and bars were going to open up, I was like, I'm good with this. I can do that. If this is the level, I'm good with this. This will maintain me for a long time.
Well, you guys, we primarily hang out in backyard in the pool, like in the summer anyway. We go to the bar for like 2 hours. We're like, let's go back to the house and grill.
Yeah.
I feel like spring was just non-existent. Like, because we were quarantined the whole time, it just didn't happen.
June? How is it June already? I'm like, what?
Yeah, we went winter straight into summer.
Yeah. We came back from the wedding, and that was like the only big snowstorm that they had. And like the snow was pretty much melting when we got back. We might have got like one other snow after that. And then spring started and quarantine started. So I was like, we just skipped all that.
Yeah. So why don't we take a quick little break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about our favorite season, summer, and what we're going to do with these new restrictions that, being lifted. So be right back.
Yay.
you talk.
And we're back, and kind of give us a little preview of summer fun. I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Eric.
Oh yes, you guys, summer's. We are allowed to go places. We rescheduled our Saugatuck trip for August. But like, what are your other summer plans now that restrictions are lifted and you can actually go places?
Well, I had a wedding I was supposed to go to in April, and then a wedding I was supposed to go to in May. And obviously both of those got rescheduled, and now they're both in August. So I'm like, my August is now packed. Like, because now we're going to Saugatuck at the end of August. I've got a wedding at the first weekend of August, one in the middle. My work schedule.
Yeah, a lot of wedding reschedules.
Yeah. And people are lucky that they were able to get alternative dates. Like, some people were not at all. Like, they're pushed it till next year.
I absolutely loved it today. I was going through the calendar and updating new events and stuff that's happening, and it made me so happy. I was like, I was adding Spencer like to the calendar invite, like, oh yeah, now we're busy. Oh my god, we're double booked for a Saturday. I'm so excited. Like, I was like, clearing my calendar back in April was just devastating. I was like, oh, cancel. I am an event person. I am go every weekend. Let's do something. Let's see people. And to cancel events for 2 months just broke my heart. So I'm super excited. We got, in June, we have a graduation party. We have a first birthday party. And I love it because and a wedding. And all of them are outside so they can have the 100 people. They can do, the proper way to celebrate big milestones, like a first birthday, like a graduation, like a wedding. Because a lot of people got robbed of those really big moments. So I'm really excited. June is filling up quickly, and I love it.
See, I mean, I saw a post on Facebook the other day, and this girl's getting married that I know from a long time ago, but she was stating how she's just kind of upset because the wedding is in like 2 weeks. And she's having to tell people, like, she still wants her wedding to go forward, which I totally get, like, you can. But she was having, like, 250 people. So she's, like, telling them, like, 150 people they have to disinvite.
Wow.
And, like, it's hard, but people have to be understanding right now. Like, I'm sorry, but it's your wedding day, and you just got to give 0 fucks and move on.
100%. The bride that we know is the language she's using. I think it's so wonderful and so appropriate. Like, and especially and it also comes down to the point, like, hey, like, we get it if you don't feel comfortable coming because there will be 100 people or whatever. Like, we're maxing it out because there was supposed to be a bigger wedding, and now it's family and close friends. Like, it's very changed. So I was like, I was like, girl, you do it. Like, we will support you. Like, come on. Like, I can't believe people that would be so upset by it.
And our friends Brian and Bobby were scheduled for April wedding, and they just went ahead with it in their backyard. They had both their parents there, and then that was it. Like, everyone wore masks, and they're like, we're not going to reschedule this. We'll just do it on a smaller scale. And I've seen the pictures. They turned out beautiful. There was a whole Zoom.
It was a Zoom.
So they zoomed the whole thing. So
a lot of people were creative during the quarantine. They did the Office proposal wedding, where those people were just the biggest fans of The Office, and they did their wedding. But it's like all the events of the summer. Like, what happens with people, that, we're pretty close to Cedar Point, so a lot of people do that. Like the amusement parks and like Disney World, like my sister-in-law and cousin are like huge fans of, and basically they went on the website and Disney was like closed, like, but now it's starting to reopen. So you wonder just how all that's going to slowly start working.
Well, and we're still in this like unsure stage. Like, we don't know, like, is it really safe to go just because you've opened it? Like, we have a timeshare in Mexico, and there's a lot of people that they're just still canceling their reservations in June because they're like, it's still too soon, even though the country's opening up. Like, who knows what it's going to be like.
Yeah, and like the other thing that, it's really great for our group of friends, we love camping and we love doing all that. And when I say camping, don't picture me in a tent.
We mean glamping.
I'm a glamper, yes. I stay in a camper with the one that Ryan and Deb have that we stay in, like, it's a fireplace and an island. Like, it's fully glamping. But I love the idea of being, by a fire pit and the sunshine and the beach. And I love being that all my friends are literally just, a site away. So we're still planning on doing all that stuff because it's outside activities, and I'm sure, they all the campgrounds, are ready and raring to go. And, because if so much of it is kind of social distance already, we're not seeing any problems with that. So we have 2 camping trips planned, one in July and one in August already. So we're looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with camping.
Yeah, camping's in full effect. Everyone's going to go camping. We're going to Higgins for the 4th of July. Plane travel, I know. So producer Chad is going to North Carolina with his family. And, the airlines called my husband back, and he may have to go back to work early because they believe that people are going to start to travel more. So, I mean, everyone's definitely starting to dip their toe into the pond. So people are going to start moving around, and hopefully everyone's just very smart about it and we can get back to normal.
Well, since I've gone back to work, it's pretty clear early on that life as we know it is not the same as it was pre-COVID. We've got so many safety measures in place now, and we all have to wear masks, and we still have to maintain social distancing, and we have to wash our hands every 30 minutes. I feel like this is going to be our new normal for a while, even though we get back to regular routines such as flying and doing all this stuff. We're still going to take those precautions and make sure we're washing our hands. And if we feel sick, or if someone feels sick, they need to stay home. It's way too early to just take anything for granted right now.
We're talking to you, Karen, in the back.
Karen.
Karen.
Don't be coming up at my store, Karen.
Like a Karen listening
about the fitting rooms being closed. You stay at home.
Well, I'm of all things, I'm really glad that this it's not taking our summer away. Hopefully, we get through this and we can all hang out with each other and, see our families and our friends and just be smart about it. If it means more time in the backyard in the summer, I'm okay with backyard time. I do miss going out to a restaurant every now and again. I will be precautious. I hope everybody else is too. But yeah, here's to a good summer, boys.
Yay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's such a fun time, especially in Michigan, where it's so beautiful, and we spend 5 to 6 months of it underground. So we're when the sun's here, and we just want to enjoy it.
Yes.
And because everyone was just stuck in their houses for the last 2 months, everyone's yards look phenomenal. The grass has never looked greener. I don't know if we were inside, but we went for walks, and man, every single yard on our block just looks so good.
I love it. I love just driving through the neighborhood and seeing how beautifully maintained everyone's yard is. They've got flowers out, flags, everyone is really going.
No one could say they didn't have time for that shit.
Exactly.
It got taken care of. I love it. It's gonna, a beautiful yard. I mean, this is from someone who never thought they'd own or live in a home. I'm oh, look at your grass. That's so nice.
Welcome to that home ownership life.
Yeah, I pulled up today and I was oh, they mowed the yard. It looks fantastic. Yes.
I will say, when I'm working from home during the day and I hear all the lawn services, I'm don't you know I'm on a call? I feel like all the mowers all go at once. Maybe it's the same company and they're hitting all the homes on the block or something, but it's just
please, Josh, you're out there with binoculars. Don't you know I'm on a call?
Is it too hot for a shirt?
Not you, the guy behind you. Send him over.
You can put your shirt back on. No, just kidding.
You can take yours off.
Who needs a water? Oh, no.
I mean, who knew that we'd be so into landscaping when we got older?
Just start hosing him down oh,
right.
What?
Oh, yeah, no, when they come down my street, I'm oh, big girl.
Would you like a glass of lemonade or iced tea?
Oh, no, my pants fell down. No.
You're just wearing your rainbow mask around yourself. Oops.
Well, yeah, so we'll definitely, we're having a little celebration this Saturday with all of us, so we'll see each other, and we're going to have a little pride celebration and swim. It's supposed to be nice in Michigan. So, yeah, the message here is just everyone try and enjoy your summer. Be safe. Make good choices.
Yes. All right. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
And wash your hands.
Wash your goddamn hands.
I love the way that you talk.
And we're back. And so now that we've talked about kind of our summer plans and the new normal and what we're doing there, I thought I would kind of talk about, my favorite topic, songs, music, and Song of the Summer 2020 and how different I think it's going to be based on everything going on. But first, I just thought I would kind of ask you both, is there any song that you've heard kind of recently that you've really just like loved or been all about?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hate, and I was going to be like, what's that song that Bruno always plays? The
Weasel song?
The Paddington Bear or whatever.
I do.
I don't have room for hate in my life right now. I just want love.
I obviously, the new Gaga came out, and we'll probably hit on that a little bit. But I do like both singles. I think Stupid Love is great. I really enjoy Rain on Me. It's not really my favorite, so I'm not sure if it'll be my Song of the Summer. I'm loving the Dua Lipa, but I'm waiting on a single to come out before I can be like, oh yeah, it's my new summer song.
Yeah. How about you, Eric? Are you fancying anything?
Not really. You haven't really been over much to play songs on the speaker. And when we go to Chris's, he makes me listen to the Paddington Bear song over and over. And then I did listen to the Grande and Gaga song, but you guys know it takes me a while to get into it. I usually hate them when they first come out, and then I'm like, all right.
I was in the same boat.
I think everything takes you a little bit to warm up too, so.
It took me a little bit to warm up being gay.
Okay, so what I thought, so the first chart came out for Song of the Summer, and so it's the very first week, so it's very, very limited data. But the kickoff song is "Rain on Me" by Ariana Grande.
Right.
So it's the leading contender. But
it's definitely the most talked about song, I think, right now.
I mean, and you're also combining two very strong fan bases: the Ariana Grande fan base and the Lady Gaga fan base. Both have a huge social media presence. They both have they'll buy songs, they'll stream songs, their YouTube in it. They're all over the place. So that's definitely kicking off the year. But as we learned last year with the worst song of the summer of all time, Lil Nas X, Old Town Road, which the reason I blame Corona on. But no.
No. It's because of the brooms. When everyone stood their brooms up, it opened the portal.
Yeah.
So put your
Everyone go back. Stand them upside down.
And so I think it's super funny that you talked about, and I also love I listened to Lady Gaga Ariana Grande song, and I loved it on round one. I thought it was that late 80s, early 90s dance club music, and I was like, man, I wish we were at the bar dancing to this. And I think the lyrics and the message is really poignant for the time. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. That is our theme of 2020.
Right.
We're not dead. We've made it. It sucks being soaking wet, but we're alive. So I get it.
So true.
I think it's very poignant, and I think it's going to do really well throughout the summer. The other thing that blows my mind, and it's probably because we're older, but I'm calling it, and maybe someone else has coined it this, I haven't researched, I'm calling it the TikTok effect. But we have friends who love TikTok and watch TikTok and send us TikToks. I don't fully understand it. I think they're funny and they're cute. But I did not understand this one TikTok of all these people dancing, and then I realized it's that Weekend song, "Blinding Lights." And
yeah, I like that song.
And you there's a whole dance, and you kick your legs to it, and it's everywhere. And I think that is playing a huge, huge role now in songs being streamed, being bought, being everywhere. And so I think it's super curious to see if you can make a song that's catchy enough that you can make a TikTok or what do they call it when it goes viral? Like a TikTok toe? I don't know.
So I think it's interesting though.
Cat's game. It's a cat's game.
I do think it's interesting that the Weekend song, which came out in the winter for sure, because of COVID and the quarantine, it's kind of pushed itself into the summer a bit.
Itself a whole new life, and it's crazy. Yeah. I had to look up. I was like, wait, isn't this an older song? And you're right, it's 6 months old, and it still is in the top 5 of Billboard's Hot 100 because it's just getting so much listening to because of TikTok. And the other
I'm looking forward to this playlist you're presenting on Saturday. It better be like songs of the summer.
I'm ready. So another person that you pointed out that I think is a really, really strong contender is that's Dua Lipa. And Dua Lipa, her last album, it just came out in March, April. It came out right when this was all kind of happening. And it is a solid pop album. I love it a lot. It's really great, strong lyrics, strong beats. Everything about it's really smart. And she actually has Don't Start Now is in the top 10 of Billboard, which is kind of was the lead single. And it took a while to peak, and so now it's probably going to start coming up. But there's a lot of songs on that album that she could release. Physical, which is one of my favorites, was released over in the UK. And I don't know if she's going to release it here or not to radio. I love it. But I think it's really, really great. And the other one's Break My Heart, which is
I don't know if I know the name of the songs because I just put the album on repeat and I'm just like, oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. It is good, just like you can watch, like clean the house. You can do whatever and just play it in the background. It's the whole album. It's so great.
Who's the one that sings the Dance For Me? Dance For Me, Dance For Me.
The monkey, Dance Monkey.
Oh yeah, I think it's Dance Monkey. Is it?
She's British.
Look at Chad knows it. He wants to say it. Just come out from behind the light, Chad. That's right, Dance Monkey. Yeah, okay, that's right, Dance Monkey.
We got a thumbs up from Chad.
I love that song. That's my shower jam. I think that's my song of the summer. But didn't it come out in the winter?
Again, that song came out a while ago, but I feel like because
it takes me a little.
But it's got to find its life. It's got to find its stride, and maybe now's that time.
Yeah, we skipped spring, so we just launched all these songs into our summer songs.
Josh, playlist on Saturday. Add it. Dance Monkey.
I will. So, and then a couple other ones that I think are like ones to watch, like my favorite that I'm really feeling is like really low key bubbling under, is Kim Petras. And you'll be hearing her this summer.
Okay.
She's got one song called Heart to Break. And I think that's a really good pop contender. And I've noticed recently that other pop artists have been like Demi Lovato posted about her. Someone else, I think she might be in with the Scooter Braun camp, with Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande and all of those. Ariana, I think, posted about Kim Petras, and Heart to Break is really great. And then she's also on the new Kygo album, which just dropped last week. And Kygo did my favorite Whitney Houston remix of Higher Love that I love so much.
I've never heard that song.
I just keep playing it. Spencer's like, I'm not over it. But so Kygo did a song with her called Broken Glass with this Kim Petras that I think is also really, really great.
Is it like the remake of I'm Walking on Broken Glass?
It's not, but it's Kygo. He just, takes something awesome and makes it cool.
So you mentioned a few names, which did remind me of songs that I feel like kind of came out in the spring, which could be a summer song, is the Ariana and Justin Bieber song, the duet that they did.
Thank you.
That's a bop. I enjoyed that a lot. And then the Sam Smith and Demi Lovato duet was
I'm ready.
Excellent, yes.
Both on my list.
I am ready.
Yes, and I think so. This is the other thing that I was trying to think about when I was trying to think songs of the summer, because there's some artists that are putting out a lot of music and they're either going one of two routes. Either I think they're going kind of subdued, this has been really hard, we'll get through this, or they're more of the I'm ready, let's bop, let's do this, Raina. I think they're going one of two routes. And I think the song of the summer is definitely going to be one that's going to be more of a bop. I think it's going to be we get it, we're all tired, we need something to energize us. And I think especially with everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter movement right now, I think really, really strong Black artists could come out and just be something just blow it out of the water and get everyone just energized and together and celebrate and be we're, taking it back. And I would just love that. I'm looking at you, Rihanna, specifically. If you're listening, I need it. I know you're out there building your empire, Black Girl Magic, you got it, girl, you're amazing, but we could use your voice right now in the form of a pop R&B melody. So I would love we're only in the first week of June, so there's definitely contenders all over the place. You can never count out Maroon 5, which blows my mind that they're still really relevant.
Right.
Stuff like that. But that Memory song was huge. And I heard that Memory song. I was like, there's no way this is going to go anywhere. And it climbed to like number 2 or 3 on the Hot 100. It was all over the radio. Everyone, was feeling nostalgic apparently. And, more power to you. I love
the Jonas Brothers have released a couple of singles.
I think I'm like, Jonas Brothers have had 2 hits, and I'm like, I think the third one, I don't know, I'm waiting.
Well, and the songs that are released now, I haven't really been on a radar. Like, maybe it's because we've been quarantined and we haven't been able to like get in our cars and listen to them. But it started coming on my, like, when I tell my Echo to play pop hits, like, I'll be like, this is the Jonas Brothers.
They have a new song. They just released it, I think, like, it was right around Spencer's birthday, in fact, that they released a 2-song, like, digital single, and it had 5 more minutes, which is what they sang at the Grammys, a little intro.
Okay.
And then there was another track on there with a Latina artist, and there's a little bit of Spanish in it, which is,
that's
huge.
the one I've heard lately. And I
think her name is, with a K.
Yeah, I love it a lot.
How much do you think that the group Hanson hates the Jonas Brothers?
They had their time. They're good. If the Hansons want to come out, though.
But the problem is, like, the Jonas Brothers all went on to have their own lives and then came back together, and they're still like, boom.
You 100% know that the Hanson brothers are pitching a comeback to someone
100%.
100%.
Totally.
Yeah, they're like, look at the Jonas Brothers.
I mean, you guys don't act like we wouldn't be at the Jonas Brothers concert if they had one right now. Us and a bunch of 18-year-old girls.
I would be in a heartbeat. And I would also
be like a mix of gay men and 18-year-old girls.
I think all the music success are going to go, not, and move on.
I'm still waiting on that Menudo reunion, so sign me up.
Guys, I don't know if anyone who's not watching can see, but look at that light that producer Chad is looking at.
The video viewers will never see it.
As long as he doesn't speak, it'll stay.
There we go.
It's beautiful. I have another person that I had it in my mind that just popped out with a single. Oh, now went blank. I should have written it. Taylor's doing her thing.
I don't think this is going to be a Taylor Swift song.
You guys, Kelly hasn't had a song of the summer in a minute. When is
Well, Kelly did come out with a song, and it was very quarantine-based. It was called I Dare You to Love.
I told the bop route.
What's it called? My 2-bedroom Montana chalet.
It's called I Dare You, and it's about I Dare You to Love. And it's very, like, upbeat and, like...
It was the other route in quarantine.
Yeah. But Charlie...
Her vocals are phenomenal. Not gonna... I mean, we've been promising you Adele music in 2020, so she could come out with a bop. Who knows? She's skinny. She's fabulous.
I mean, girl is this big around now, so, like, she's ready. It better be a
carbs
dance
will find
number.
her. Don't worry. The carbs will find her.
No, Charlie Puth has a duet with someone who I don't really... I think her name is...
Gabby Barnett. Gabby Barnett.
Wait, I'm sorry. CJ, who did you say?
Charlie Puth.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
So, some background, CJ. Gabby Barnett had a #1 hit song at country radio. The song was called I Hope. And she was actually the 3rd place runner-up on the New American Idol from last year. And it was a country song, and it's very Before He Cheats.
Every time we hear it, it's Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Those country, I think it's super funny that country males, are like, oh, look at you dancing in the bed of my truck in the moonlight with a beer, and the females are like, I'll fucking cut your tires if you piss into a girl. Like, and it's very, and so now they've remixed it with Charlie Puth as a pop single, and that's climbing the charts.
It's called I Hope He Cheats. Instead, and so Carrie Underwood is Before He Cheats, and this is I Hope He Cheats.
Yeah, because essentially the storyline is that he's already cheated on her, and now he's with that new girl, and she's like, and it starts off like, oh, like I hope she treats you right, I hope she does everything, and then I fucking hope she finds some muscle man and fucks him in your bed in your mom's car. Like it's
so aggressive.
I hope he spends all of his money on a new diamond ring, and then I hope he cheats.
Yeah, yeah. It's aggressive, but
Okay, see, I might get into that because I do love Carrie Underwood.
I mean, it is straight up. It's almost a ripoff, but it's like a.
Who has not met a cowboy Casanova? Okay,
it's like 2.0 of I.
Well, and that's CJ. That's why I found it so funny when I was like researching. I was like, "Where does Gabby Barnett come from?" I was like, "Oh wait, she was on American Idol too." I was like, "She didn't win, but she was third runner-up."
Well,
I don't think any of those American Idol winners from even the latter seasons of the Fox show, let alone the ABC show. So good for her. She's making some radio waves.
I kept asking the Echo. I can't say her name because she'll light up everywhere. But I kept saying, "Who is this singing?" Like, I know it's Charlie Puth, but who's the other person? And they're like, "Oh, it's Gabby, blah blah blah." And I'm like, I don't know who that is.
I think a lot of country artists are kind of dividing that pop line. They're doing remixes with Diplo. Griffin has a song with Chris Lane, Hold You Tonight, that I think is really great. Morgan Wallen, who was a runner-up on The Voice, I think. Love him. He's got a mullet. We got to help him with that. But he's got a great sound. But yeah, so those are just some of my thoughts on songs of the summer and the new music that's happening. And
I think that's a really good note to end on. And when we come back from the break, we can talk about mullets. And
right.
CJ, we can talk about. Yeah, isn't that nice? Go ahead,
I do want to point out, though. I do want to point out that our first episode of the Gayest podcast ever, Josh talked about songs of the summer, and now we're back there again talking about summer songs. So, I mean, it's almost been a year. We're about there. So
I do remember, we talked about Little Nas, and he was full circle, it was family, and I remember. I can't believe it's almost been a year.
It's insane. I can't believe, and thank you to everyone for listening to us for almost a year.
Right. Well, thanks for listening to us blab and just talk about shit.
And drink.
Right, yes, drink with us.
Well, all right. Speaking of, everyone go make a drink, and when we come back from the break, we will tackle CJ's topic and her story of that.
It'll be GG good.
It'll be real good. Cheers.
I love the way that you talk.
All right, and we're back. We got new drinks, and now, Mr. CJ, why don't you tell us about what's on your mind?
Well, obviously, Drag Race now is ending and beginning all at the same time. We just finished season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Do we care to talk about the season and the winners and spoil?
I think we can, because it's been a minute. We'll just tell everyone right now, if you've not seen it and you don't want to hear about it, spoiler alert.
Skip a little bit.
Skip a little bit more, rate, review, subscribe right here.
No, hit that little round arrow button.
Right.
Share to a friend and, listen to the last, 20 minutes of the podcast in a week or two when you've watched it. But, yeah,
I will say it was probably one of my favorite seasons. I thought everyone was very, very talented. We got rid of the people who were not my favorites very early on in the competition. And then I was telling Eric the other day, this is the first time in a long time with the final that I was like, I was fine with anyone winning. I felt like they all were very deserving. They all brought something different, and I was fine.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I was someone that gave up on this season because it was not one of my favorites. But how did it work with Sherry Pie? Did she eventually get eliminated, or was she?
She got to the top four.
She was just not allowed to participate.
She was supposed to be in the finale. That's why they kept flashing it across the screen.
Yes,
she was in the top four. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I knew it after she kept. This is another reason why I gave up.
Gosh, literally the whole season, she was this. She was
and I feel like production did that on purpose too. They did not show her.
It didn't show her. I have a feeling she was much better, and they had they thought they were going to get their big size queen to win, and then
and I was a fan of Sherry Pie, regardless of the initial warnings. Like those first couple episodes, I was like, oh, I kind of like Sherry Pie, but in the back of my head, I was like, okay, obviously she did this thing with the catfishing, and that's wrong, and so that makes me dislike her. But first, I knew that once they were posting that every single episode, I'm like, she's going to make it to the final.
This is their skill.
Yeah, and the question was, so what are they going to do? She's going to make it to the final, and then they're going to bring back the last person eliminated? So if you haven't watched, or maybe you have watched, the thing that they did do was they had a top 4. They announced it live on the show. These are our top 4s. However, they produced it in a way that said, vote for, and it listed the top 3 that actually made it to the show. So even though Sherry Pie was in the top 4, they produced it in a way that said, who's your favorite? This person, or this person?
And the top 3 performed in the finale.
Yeah.
The only thing I hate is I look forward to, like, when they do the finale, the glitz and glamour, like the costumes.
Right.
Seeing, like, Alyssa Edwards in the audience, like, popping off.
Right. So what they did do was they had the reunion special from home. So everyone did a giant Zoom, which was fun because, I mean, it reminded me so much of the things that we've done all during quarantine. You know, you've got all these queens. Yeah, and they had a pajama party theme, which was very fitting. So everyone had like some kind of like sleepover, like themed outfit on. And then
I have a question. Were one of the queens naked? Like, I don't see that.
No, they were all fully. Jada had like a pillow strapped to the back of her head with like a Z's coming out, and but then they announced on the reunion that the final would be the next week because they had also been posting pre-show. The final will be taped later on in the season. So I thought, they'll wait till they can actually have it, but what they did was they did it from home. So the queens did lip syncs from home, and they did 3 different lip syncs. Once was a close-up, so it would be like this. So I'd lip sync like this.
Oh my God, but when Gigi was doing that with her eyelashes to the song, I was like, it was everything. Like, literally her whole eyelashes were going to the song. I was like, this is phenomenal.
The second phase was they got to do a lip sync just of anything that they wanted with whatever props they wanted, which was fantastic because Crystal Method, who I think is fantastic, she was not one of my favorites from the beginning.
Agreed, but she literally defined RuPaul's Drag Race. She just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. Like, her drag just kept evolving. She was taking in all their critiques. Everything they were giving her, she was taking it and making it work.
They love when you listen and grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she was also staying true to herself, too, with her own drag. She was making it fit her drag and making her drag better, and it was fantastic.
So, like, for this creative part, like, when the show opened, literally, like, the pride flag on CJ's shirt, she was literally dressed like a papier-mâché version of that, like an animal, and that was her outfit.
It was a piñata.
Yeah, a piñata. And it was like, it was so crazy. And then, like, when he's talking about how Gigi Goode, she did her dance, and I loved it. It was black and white, and she made her own set, and she did, like, one of the Take Me On song.
Yeah, Take Me On. She recreated the video, yeah.
She recreated the video, and it was everything. Like, when she jumped, her white outfit turned black, and it was insane.
Color, like,
I recommend that you Google it, look at it. It was really good. And then, like,
I might go back and watch the final four.
It was very at home and relaxed, but she killed it.
She used every inch of space in her apartment when she recorded hers. So they all made it to phase 3. Normally RuPaul would have them draw and like lip sync against each other, and then one's eliminated, then the final 2 go on. This time she let them all 3 advance to the final lip sync, and they were all given the same props. So they were all given like this silver sparkly curtain, and they were sent an iPhone to record it on. So that was it. Like, they had to lip sync just with that. So that's when Jada,
live?
Well, it wasn't live. I mean, it was recorded.
But they didn't have like prep time.
They couldn't produce it. They weren't allowed to produce the video. It was just
and whoever lived with them had to record it. Like, they set up the set, and that was it.
So, I mean, Jada and Gigi Goode both had reveals, like things that happened in their costume. I was a little disappointed that Crystal Method's what she started with is what she finished with.
Okay. But we're going to dive into this. Okay, because it was a little weird because she was like, she's saying that I'm like a bird, I want to fly away. And she literally, her costume was, she was dressed as a yellow bird. And then she was the baby bird, like a little.
Yeah,
bird.
and that was the first round of lip sync, which was great. That was my favorite.
But it was just like, but it was just weird, like how she did. And she literally, like, showed herself at one point, like spitting into the baby bird's mouth and like flashed to her catching it. Like it was very artistic.
She regurgitated on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right. So Michelle Visage even said, "I think we've just had our first regurgitation on RuPaul's Drag Race."
I can't. No, I would vomit. I would like.
She was a little different, but yes. But she didn't do anything with her outfit. There was no change. There was no drop. There was no pop up. There was nothing.
No. I will say, again, this was one of my favorite because I felt like majority of the queens were so talented, and it was just a shame that Sherry Pie, did what she did, and she wasn't allowed to go far. And I'm not saying that what she did was that she should have been able to. I'm glad that the producers did what they did, and it was a decision that was made, and I full-heartedly agree with it. But Sherry was talented. It's just shame that she kind of ruins her career or her chances of doing good, because she made it all the way and she could have possibly have won. But since, that ended last week, and so this weekend we go into All Stars 5, and I'm so excited. I love the All Stars because I feel like all the queens take what they learned from their previous season, and they always better themselves.
Do you have a list of the queens that will be on the All Stars?
I don't. If you want to Google them real quick, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if somebody wants to. I think since there's been 12 seasons, I feel like after next season, she should bring there should be a special where all the winners come back and do an ultimate All Stars.
I agree, because even this season, I know Aquaria is in this season, but she won. So that's kind of interesting. They should have maybe had some of the
Aquarius from New York.
Yeah, I think so.
She's in this season. She won it. She gets.
All right. So wait, I have the list.
She's in the footage.
Okay. I do not see an Aquarius listed.
Oh, okay. You know what? She might be one of the killer spies or whatever.
Yeah, because that's one of the. I bet that's it.
Well, we'll let Josh read the list. Let Josh read the list, and then we'll talk about the assassins.
Okay, so and let me flip it because I can tell you what season they were on. Okay, so we have Alexis Mateo, who was originally on season 3 and took third place. Blair St. Clair, who was on season 10.
Yeah, so 2 seasons ago.
And took 9th place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I liked her, though. I really liked her. And she was a young queen, so I feel like now she's learned a lot. And she's
I feel like she was a wallflower, though. She just kind of blended in. There was nothing.
Blair is the only queen in her 20s on the entire All-Stars cast.
Hey, Gigi Good. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Well, I don't see a Gigi Good on here.
No, Gigi Good she was on this season of season 12, and she was one of the top 3. She was 21.
Gotcha. All right. Derek Barry, who was on season 8.
Or Britney Spears.
Derek Barry, I hope his drag is evolved. Yes.
India Ferrara.
Okay, so I personally know India. She used to perform in Lexington at bar 141 when it was there.
I have a question. Was India the one that got picked up?
Yes. She was picked up by Mimi I'm First.
Yeah, I hated Mimi I'm First.
And that's when RuPaul said, drag is not a contact sport.
Oh.
She's like, put me down. She picked her up. Yeah.
So India was also the one that walked into the workroom the first day, and someone else had her same wig on. And she was like, prison, honey. Wow, this is a crime.
So Jujubee.
I love Jujubee.
One of my
favorites
of
all time.
I love Jujubee. I'm excited. I will watch it for Mariah Balenciaga.
Who? I love her too.
She was on season 3 and she took 9th place.
Which I'm excited for her because I feel like she can do better.
She's no Vanjie. Next.
She must have built a following or something.
Right.
Mayhem Miller.
Yes. Yes.
Who was on season 10 and took 10th place.
So you'll know Mayhem from the one meme where they're like me practicing my mandolin. She's like,
I don't know. You're gonna have to show me because I have no idea.
And the camera
who
with just
she
the
is.
eyes, and she's like, pose.
Okay.
She seems unforgettable to me. No.
We'll post a meme of her doing that on our social media because you'll know her immediately from it was groundbreaking.
Okay. Ms. Cracker.
Okay, so she was on the same season as as Aquaria.
Yes.
And they confused the two of them. However, I know the difference between them, but I'm pretty sure Aquaria is
a lot. Okay, now they looked a lot alike in their season. I couldn't tell them apart most of the year.
Aquaria is always on My Real Housewives in New York. She makes appearances.
I'm pretty sure Aquaria is on the trailer though, because she even says this is not easy, honey, in the trailer.
She might be. She might be like one of the the hosts when she first walks in the workroom or something.
Right.
Yeah. Was season 10 with the one with all the New York queens?
I feel like every season is
Say a
New
name
York.
and I'll let you know.
Yeah, all right. Angina?
Angina, yes.
Angina. I remember Angina.
She was on
Season
season one. Season 1.
So Angina did gender bender drag a little bit. She never wore a wig. She rarely wore boobs. She had pasties, and she usually just had something stuck to her head.
Her drag has evolved.
Right. Well, I hope so. But she also broke down on stage and came out as HIV positive.
I remember this. Yes.
So there was a huge moment for the show. I mean, it was season 1, so it was 10 years ago at least.
And then it says the final contestant is Shea Coulee.
Oh, I love Shea Coulee. Yeah.
So third place per season.
Yeah, Shea Coulee was on the same season as the one that did the emotions, the Whitney emotions, and shook the flower petals out of her head.
I don't remember. I mean, it was recently. I remember, like, I know the moment you're thinking of, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, Shea Coulee was definitely, like, she was in the top 3. Like, she made it to the finals, and so I'm excited about her. I think she'll do really well.
I'm excited for
TJ, I'm going to laugh so hard if you thought Aquaria was on this season and it is Miss Cracker, and you just got confused so much alike.
I know that they get mistaken a lot when they're in drag, but when they're boys, though, they look very different. Miss Cracker has dark hair, and Aquaria has light blonde hair. So I'm pretty sure Aquaria is in the trailer, and I'll have to look back. And my apologies if I'm mistaken. It would
they got some good guest stars.
Ricky Martin. First Martin.
Bibi Rexa. Jane Krakowski from 30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt.
Schmidt, yes.
Jeffrey Bauer Chapman, who I just think is so fucking adorable. Nicole Byer. She does all the stuff on Netflix.
Love her.
Nailed it. Sam Richardson, which love from like Law and Order and what's the one with Frankie?
Grace and Frankie. Frankie and Grace.
Yeah.
You mean Sam Watterson?
Yeah.
Oh, I do mean Sam Watterson. This is Sam Richardson.
Never mind.
There is no way that Sam Watterson is a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I was so excited.
I was excited too. No, that's what the 6-pack of White Claw will do to you. Tessa Thompson, who was Valkyrie in the Marvel Thor movies.
And she's in Westworld now. And she's brilliant in Westworld, if you've not watched Westworld.
Sarah Hyland, who was the oldest daughter on Modern Family. And Todrick Hall.
I feel like we forgot to mention Todrick Hall earlier during Songs of the Summer because he redid an entire album based on quarantine.
Did Eric get stuck?
I think Eric got stuck. We're going to pause.
It's a terrible face for him to be stuck.
Well, we're going to pause for a brief moment until we can bring Eric back. We'll be back in just a second.
Left it off.
And we're back after we lost Eric.
I hate Zoom, and I can't wait to never use it again.
I'm so surprised it took this long for us to have this kind of technical difficulty.
Yeah, for all the episodes we've done in quarantine, that was like the first time we were ever like, oh shit, we lost someone.
But Eric was frozen in a very interesting position.
Same you were giving Josh the stink eye.
Well, that was real life.
Eric, you'll be happy to know that I did some further research while you were gone, and Sam Richardson is actually from Detroit. He literally grew up in Detroit. He went to Wayne State University.
Oh, you deserved a lot of facts.
I know. I feel bad. Sorry, Sam. Still love you.
But we're very much looking forward to All Stars 5, which starts this weekend, which is great that it's starting during Pride Month. I know I'm excited. I'll be watching every Friday. But there's been a lot. I feel like Drag Race now is so mainstream. Like everywhere you turn around, it's on some kind of platform. They recently had a secret celebrity Drag Race. Did you guys watch that?
No.
I watched the one episode of that Schitt's Creek Ted was on.
So it was only a 4-episode special. But the premise of it was each episode had 3 celebrities. And when we say celebrities, these were not like Angelina and Brad and all them. These were some CD-list celebrities. Most of them I had no idea who they were. But some of them I'm like, oh yeah, I know so-and-so. So episode 1 was Jordan Connor, who is from Riverdale. He plays Jughead in Riverdale. Josh, you watch Riverdale.
Jughead is played by like one of the Sprouse twins.
No, his name is Jordan Connor.
That plays Jughead?
I don't know.
Google it. I had to Google it just to make sure. And then Jermaine Fowler, who is a black comedian. He's very much... I can't remember.
I'm right. It says Cole Sprouse plays Jughead Jones on Riverdale.
Well, who is Jordan Connor on Riverdale?
I don't know, but I'll find out.
Please Google that.
God, he just fact-checked you.
I know. I thought I fact-checked myself before the episode.
Oh, he plays his younger brother, Sweet Pea.
Oh.
Okay. What show is this that you're watching with Jughead and Sweet Pea?
Riverdale.
Eric, I actually think you would really enjoy
You guys, I can't with the CW. I quit on the CW after Vampire Diaries and Gossip Girl. Done.
You would love Riverdale so much, and then you would watch
Riverdale.
The only reason I would watch Riverdale is because of Mark Consuelos, because that man is like a fine wine. He just gets better with age.
He's not even shirtless.
Riverdale knows they're like gay baiting at times.
If you want to see him shirtless,
and wrestle each other, and Mark Consuelos was like the honorary coach that came in and got to do it too, and I was like, oh, they're gay baiting us all.
Oh, that's what the show Euphoria on HBO. So something like popped up the other day, like because I was looking for stuff to watch, and like Eric Dane plays this like daddy, and then there was like this like son thing, and they had this weird connection, and I was like, what is happening?
And doesn't Euphoria have like the record for most penises on screen at one time?
I think that should be Hollywood.
Right.
Oh, I think we should watch Euphoria because like we're running out of shit to watch. But I think they have a record for the most penises on a screen at one time.
Oh.
And so we are getting a little long here, so I'll just run through those celebrities real quick. Jordan Connor, who apparently was not Jughead in Riverdale. Jermaine Fowler, who's a comedian. Nico Tortorella.
From Younger. And he was on
I didn't know her. She's a gay, actually.
That's a Lifetime show, isn't it, Josh?
I follow Nico on Instagram. He's cute.
Say no more.
His pronouns are they. He doesn't identify by male or female.
I follow they.
Episode 2, they switched it over to women. Vanessa Williams, by far, will be the biggest celebrity on the whole show. Is Vanessa?
Wait, they got Vanessa Williams,
and she was fantastic.
Does sun go around the moon? Like, what the hell?
Lonnie Love was on that episode with her, as well as Tammy Roman, who is from Basketball Wives, but was also in the very first season of The Real World. She was on with John and all of those. So that's how I knew Tammy. I didn't even know Tammy was on this Basketball Wives.
Eric, is it a Bravo show, The Basketball Wives?
No, that's like MTV VH1.
Yeah, she's married to an NBA player now, so she's on that show. But I knew her from.
Oh, she's on Basketball Wives.
Yeah, episode 3 went back to guys again, and they had Alex Newell, who was on Glee, and Dustin Milligan, who was on Schitt's Creek, and then Matt Eisman, who is one of the comment people on that show Wipeout. The one where like they go through the strange obstacle course and like get knocked down, and it's really funny. And
the people who narrate that are considered celebrities.
I'm telling you, Vanessa Williams was by far the best celebrity. And then the last episode,
they must have roped in Vanessa first and was like, "We're getting others." And
right.
She was, "Fuck, I'm already signed up."
Episode 4 was Haley Kayoko. I don't know.
DJ, now you're just making up names.
I am. Madison Beer, who is I didn't know her either. I don't know what she does. And then
she's gonna be a celebrity.
Who? Sorry.
Phoebe Robinson.
No.
See, they ended it well with. They should have ended it with Vanessa Williams or started with Vanessa Williams, because everyone else I was like, I don't know these people. So it was a good try, though, and I feel like they could have gotten better celebrities, especially since all these big names are guest judging on Drag Race. They could have probably talked Amanda doing something a little more. I was expecting the guy from SNL that was a judge once, because he's such a big fan of Drag Race.
So you're just going to throw it back to like when we were talking about award show season. Do better. Just do better.
Do better. And for the first season, I guess that's what we expected. Hopefully, if they do a season 2 or something further, it will, be better celebrities, maybe. At least a C celebrity. Do better. But during this whole time, we've also had a Drag Race UK, which was a shortened season in the UK. Did you guys watch that?
No, you have been off work entirely too long.
Yes.
Like, this is you're like 8 drag spin-offs in.
Put down the Drag Race and walk away.
So UK Drag Race was like season 12. They were all good. Every one of them was talented. I was happy with any of them.
DJ's like, did you watch Drag Race, Antarctica?
So they are branching out to these other cities. UK was one. However,
although Eric, you're one to talk with all those Housewives spinoffs.
RuPaul did host Drag Race UK. However, there's the Thailand one, and they're getting ready to come out with the UK Canada, who Brooklyn Heights will be the host.
Oh, I liked Brooklyn Heights.
Well, who didn't like Brooklyn Heights? Legs for days. Come on.
But this goes back to what I said at the beginning. Drag Race is taking off now in the mainstream. We've got all these different shows. There was now there's a show on HBO called We're Here, and it's a reality show where Bob the Drag Queen, Shangela, and Eureka travel around to small towns throughout the USA, and they pick people from the community and put on a drag show. And they are faced with, a lot of discrimination. They've been kicked out of places.
The drag community.
It's a tearjerker. Every episode I've cried. So it's a very good show. It's funny. But I also cry at some point. Like, they have straight people doing drag. They have gay people doing drag.
You should interview to be on that show, The People's Couch.
What the fuck is The People's Couch?
You literally sit on a couch and watch TV shows and do what you're doing right now. Like, all the spin-offs, like, everything.
You mean I could have gotten paid during this quarantine? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I'll leave it. There's a couple other things I just want to touch on. Since all these shows are coming out, Netflix also has Trixie Mattel Moving Parts, which is a documentary about her, just her one-woman show, plus going into Drag Race All-Stars and dealing with Katya with their show that they had. It's very good. It's about an hour and a half, so catch that on Netflix. That's really good. And then Alyssa Edwards has a show called Dancing Queen.
I am mind blown by all of this information.
So Dancing Queen is strictly about Alyssa Edwards' dance studio that she has in Texas. It is amazing because half the time she's in drag and half the time she's whatever her boy name is, and she's like, all right, plie, split, plie, pas de bourrée. And they're going to contest.
Dance Mom.
It is, it's Dance Moms meets Drag Race. It is hilarious. You will love it. It's sadly, the only other thing I wanted to talk about Drag Race was RuPaul did attempt to have a Netflix show called AJ and the Queen. I personally enjoyed it, but it got raked with the reviews. No one loved it. It took some time to get used to it, but sadly it has been canceled after one season.
So she found it like one thing. Okay.
Yeah. So
Spencer and I tried. It was not good.
I love that Drag Race has become so mainstream, especially since RuPaul even said in an interview with Conan, Drag Race will never be mainstream. It's kind of a taboo topic, but now like Drag Race, straight guys are watching. We've said it before. We've talked about it. Like I'm so excited that now all these drag queens are going on the show and they're making names for themselves and they're entertaining. And I can't wait to see what else happens. Maybe season 13 of Drag Race will give us our next RuPaul.
I think at this point you should be like an honorary guest Drag Race star. Maybe you could be on the next Celebrity Edition.
Please.
It could be like Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir, like at the Olympics. Like, and now look what they're wearing from this side stage.
Because I've won a title, I think I'm at the same standard as half of those.
My lord. And on title, we're going to end it right there.
All right, everyone. We just want to take a moment. Thank you again for listening, and send all of our thoughts and love and everyone out there. Everything that's kind of going on in the world, besides COVID, everything happening with the Black Lives Matter movement. Just saying that we see you, we hear you, we stand by you, and just as part of a community that had to start a riot to get the rights, we just hope that no more lives have to be lost and that you get seen and heard and that we all kind of move forward in the right direction so that, everyone is safe and heard and is able to live the American dream. So,
amen. Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Thank you so much for listening. Remember, the best comment, like, whatever you want to give us, is to rate, review, subscribe, share with a friend, share with a family member. Y'all stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye!
Bye!